Okay, we're on. Good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader and one of the coaches we have at TradeView Markets. And welcome to TradeGATEHub. We have the TradeView Market site here. It's something we're very proud of. Looks great, by the way. It gets better and better. And I will submit my preferences. And just say one thing about the site here as I log into TradeGATEHub. By the way, this is the way that I sign in every morning. Is the way you sign in, and it's very easy to do. And we like the way. I mean, we just want to get down to it. I log in, and we're in the room. But my point being is, when you have the TradeView Market site on headline, just think about. For obviously, everybody's in here to watch this video for what I'm going to say on TradeGATEHub. But you can see with just this portal that we have, or this tab, and just the information, it's just the exponential information that we have on our WUD tab. Just browse through the site, look what we have for Forex or stocks. My point being is, for extensive as the TradeGATEHub tab is, and there's just stocks, Forex, and news, and there's charts and there's videos. Just think about just go through the site and punch around. It's very extensive, and it's if you're in the business, it's for not to be dramatic. It's fun. All right, so let's sign in. Like I said to everybody else, same thing. We'll log in. What is this? Wednesday, a little after 11 o'clock. I apologize about being a little bit tardy. Coach had a great video. It does a video every morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Phenomenal. Okay, a couple of things that I wanted to say. We always go through the routine, if you will. It's not sexy, but we're consistent. What I understand about all good businesses, consistency is key. And it's also having a plan. All right, so coming into today, and the reason I'm going to start, I'm not even going to pontificate and go through the routine. You want to go through the routine because it's kind of an active day. They have been active days. All you have to do is it's a standout. Press the red YouTube button, and you press OK. Even though you're afraid, you're upset to leave TradeGATEHub, you can come back, watch our videos. This was the live video stream going now. Coaches yesterday were on, as I said, twice a day, 10 times a week, sometimes more. So that will get you used to our routine and get used to what we're doing and what we can offer. Like I always say, we're like, I used it being in medical school a lot about saying how we, you have to have, how to take someone's pulse, how to take a temperature, how to do the basics before you go on to be any type of specialist. It's the same analogy with the room. We're here to provide you with as many tools as many possibles. And the whole point or key for me is to be quality over quantity. Nobody wants to be thrown 1,000 things at once. It's very taxing, and especially to be a specialist. You start off broad and then you get narrower and narrower. So sometimes I throw a lot of things out there predicated upon day trading, swing trading, even long-term positioning. I have accounts that handle those three as well. The best one that we do here is for day trading. I can give a long-term opinion about the market, and I usually do, but I mean, Coach has a better feel for that. And we also put out data going throughout the week, starting most of all from Monday with the most data. It's the most important because the whole key is for you to learn how to fish for yourself, if you will. So the data that I put out Monday morning, it's dynamic and it rolls, going everything from Goldman positioning indicators to sentiment, to Helene's charts, for you to build a good plan, not only throughout the day, throughout the week. All right, so the red button is most important. Like Coach Roy joking yesterday, was the green door. The green door was somebody brought in a copy of a VHS. The green door is the most popular kid in school for bleeding a long, long time. If anybody knows what I'm talking about. All right, this is my signing. Good morning, Lewis. Great dedication up at 5. All right, go through the couple of videos. It's 3 to 4 minutes. It's probably the most, not to be dramatic, the most 3 to 5 minute, most important minutes you're going to watch, at least till lunchtime. All right, Jim Cramer. We'll start just like we say all the time. We'll start macro and then we'll get more specific. Jim Cramer, when I said in the morning, I think the American consumer is reassessing spending. Okay, so read what he has to say again. The fear ingredient index going today was 15. But what I just posted before we went on here, and by the way, it's only an index, as we've seen by all these stocks, these indicators, especially sentiment, can be stretched along. Fear can stay. I mean, fear is fear. It's a hard word. I mean, it's a hard word. It stays with you for a long time until you either go to therapy or get beat up and you want to change. And don't let one of the two happen. We're here to avoid it or avoid both. The point of the fear greed was what, 15, I said? So now coming into today or a little bit later, we sit at 14. All right. So the market pulled back a little bit. So maybe it's at 10 or 12. I don't see a lot of fear. There's a lot of green on my screen as well. I don't know what coach said at the 9:30 video, but as of now, I would think a positive retracement, excuse me, would be constructive and also be, healthy. So I'm looking for what, like 39.60 or whatever, 39.50 or something like that. Doesn't mean I'm right. The weakest part of my arsenal, and I think it's up to par, is calling longer term time frames, because as everybody knows here, my entries and exits are predicated upon price range and volume, and I get those predicated upon option flow, uh, good intraday movement and volume, and just sentiment. And it's a little, it's that's just that's what I do. So the fear and greed index is 15. It's not really stretched that much right now. Let me go finish here. Same number. It is 61.50. You know what, Coach? I appreciate 39.50. When the ES having 80 handle moves a day, give or take, like the polls plus or minus whatever. Yeah, I'll take 39.50, and I think that would be hefty. I didn't know that was the Fibonacci retracement of 61.8. That must have been subconsciously in my head for some reason. That's probably why it is. All right, so continuing. And then I'll get into, like I said, then I'll get into specifics, but I have an obligation to for everyone to build the plan, or else we'll just gamble it. All right, so coming into today, all right, there was the sentiment short term. Right now we're pulling back. I think we're down like 40 handles. So as it has been, and it has been the trade viewer TGH theme for the past 2 weeks, and I always said it, I have more trepidation putting long-term money to work than I do short-term money. It's just short-term is beautiful, that this action, and I don't think anybody that's in the room would deny it. We have everybody that's got good, great things to offer here. Gerard is very good at showing relative strength. He buys the strongest stocks, and I understand that. Lewis is good at sector and stock selection. Credit default swaps. All right, so look at this is where we've come, and we've come from almost double. Look at the little blip that the credit default swaps or the money took in this thing. Look how much of a big that shows you right there how big that last year when the market was going up every day, it was the gamma squeeze. And it was only a matter of what day it was going to happen. And you tried to time it, and it was usually on a Friday. Then people stepped into a Thursday. But you know what? The CPI number. A CPI number came out a year or 2 years ago. Well, once again, not to be dramatic, and I don't want to sound unprofessional. I could care less. It didn't move the market. Now this is the number. It's the war in Ukraine, and it's inflation in America, and that's it. And that's the only thing that's moving. And right now, after earnings season is over, and as you can see, what's going on with Target and Walmart making a one-day move it hasn't made it since 1988. We're talking about a 40-year sample time frame. And in 40 years, we've had crashes and recessions, and God forbid what's going on. 9/11, Walmart wasn't even down that one day. So when you're talking about those dramatic, well, not dramatic, those actual happenings, whether it's macro or micro, you have to take notice. And when things of that are happening, it's better to even get to know yourself as a trader and trade more actively. Like I said, I'm adding to things in the fund on I'm stepping my toe in. I actually, it's just, I'm stepping my toe in. So S&P sentiment, but that might be helped by oils. I digress. Where the tactical indicator stands, just like the Goldman indicator. And I post this not to be redundant, because I want everybody to believe the data. Because like we swimming in a pool, once you go like this, the person knows that you're going to float and is underneath. You're going to let yourself go in and have the light and trust the light preserver. I've been saying 1,000 times. This is what they want in. This is net foreign investment U.S. equities. It's the lowest it's been since 1997. The Goldman position indicator. Go back to the red YouTube button. They've been the lowest positioning. Even so, there have been places to hide. The oils are up before they were. are up. Some things are up right now. That's why I digress again. I don't think the market bottom is in because there's always still a place to hide. I'm hiding in some stuff. I'm not getting hurt in right now. Look, well, I'll show you in a second. Oh, Chewy going lower. Okay. Again, a ton of money and arguably a ton of money has been lost, but Goldman has been on the sidelines. Small investors are out. Overseas had record cash. And the only time foreign investors nailed the move and precisely Yanks amount of money is summer of 2007. So, what happens when this is also weekly advisor sentiment. So although things they don't look like they have bottomed and things are still testing some lows, you have to be aware that still the fear and greed is 14. There is more money on the sidelines than ever. So I don't think the number one cliche in Wall Street is nobody can time the market. So I don't think they're going to pick the bottom. So either they're going to have to chase it up or there's more to come on the downside, but it doesn't matter because the ES is having 40 handle, 60 handle moves a day. And our job is not to be right and predict things. Our job is to take money out of the market predicated upon price action flow in good range. And it has that. All right. Walmart closes down 11%, 1987. Yet another point I make. All right. You can get to it another time. It's boring. All right. Another thing so you can prove the data. This is sentiment trader. Over the past 6 weeks, investors pulled $44 billion of equity funds. So there's also institutions are on the sidelines. Foreigners are the most they've been out since 97. I'm in 50% cash. And that'll just, fear and greed is 14. So be careful. I mean, I see a lot more catalysts that could bring the market down more, i.e. a Walmart or a Target. And it looks like the positive ones right now. For example, I'll give you a chart on Walmart. And like I said, if I was a doctor, I could read this perfectly. Or let's go even Walmart. It happened before. Look, this is Walmart. Still on the low of the day. Great overnight. Okay. Walmart. This isn't like a sign where the CEO has been wrong and he bought $1 bazillion with the stock at 60 and he's risked his whole fortune because he came from nothing anyway. This is different. You know what I mean? By the way, this is the 200-day on weekly. This is for something like this on top of this. This is going to take 6 months. This is going to take 6 months. It's not. This is going to take some time for things to do damage. That's why. So even if a bottom is in at the moment, and there are places to hide, something like this. And what's another stock that shows damage? Let's even go to Microsoft. And I hope I am showing the chart. If I'm not, I'll go to it. I am showing the chart. You know what I mean? All right. It's something like this. This is going to take some time to, these take some time to wear off. So unless there's the catalyst that I see could reverse this precipitously, are the end of a war, at the end of the Ukraine war, which is probably good for a 10 to 15% rally, arguably, or a dramatic change in inflationary policy. And by the way, what I see going on with, Citicorp, by the way, she was showing good relative strength. I digress again. This is only up, down. With these stock, might be a little bit of a base. Again, I digress. It takes a while, just like any company that whose stock is broken, it takes a while for this to wear off, and it looks like that's what it's doing, but it really doesn't matter. And I'm shifting sentiment when the VIX is still in the 20s or in the high 20s. When the VIX is up here, I'll like I said, I'll read the story about Target and Walmart later. I'm being dramatic, but I'll read those macro things later, I'll meet those macro, but this is all that really matters to me right now is this. Like I said, I'll read the story later, but when stocks are having stocks, and we go to our indices here, our trade, here you go. We have stock DLO. I beat everybody over the head to buy this thing. Stocks are having 14, 50% ranges. Stocks are having 10. I'll give you another example. Here, I came in short. I'll lose a lotto. I came in short Shoe Carnival. I wouldn't know Shoe Carnival if I ran into one if I hit it with my car 100 miles an hour. I know majority of retailers, so I'm short Shoe Carnival. Seriously, I don't even know what shoe. So it was a retailer. Now I covered a little bit short because I was half the float basically. So I came in at short. Here you see the 32. I knew it had earnings. I covered at 29. I could have been someone at 26. But what I'm saying is, even if I didn't come in short, the stock has a 30, there's a $4 range. What's Upstart's range today? You don't even know, you don't even have to know what Upstart does. But the bottom line is, for the last week, Upstart has had a range from 27 to 52. It's doubled. And by the way, it's trading 20 million shares a day, actually 5 million shares a day. 10 million shares a day. It doesn't matter. Trade price action ranging, you don't have to worry about XBI. Where's that? I'm not afraid to look. You know what? That was a nice buy. Somehow the XBI was up $10 from no low. You know what I mean? But that volume came in, showed that was capitulation. I digress again. So getting back to US gamers, any other questions? Crude is getting whacked, and let's look at my CPE. All right, CPE. All right, you know what I mean? I could have held it, and I believed it was going down. I covered it. You know what I mean? Crude getting whacked. I covered it at 50. You know what I mean? I made a little bit of money. I jostled it around. It was a contra trade. Now it broke under the 200-day. 5 days up. I'm afraid to look at the market. The market's breaking down now. All right. Okay. Here's the market will show. So the market right now is 39.85. We might be testing coach a little sooner than expected. Here we are. So here we are on the ES. Our line should be clean because I'm posting these every day. So let's look at 39.50. Where's 39.50? Right here. All right. So here we are right now. Let me get off this. Here we are right now on the futures. So 39.50 is the 59 is the 61.8 retracement, and coaches and I target. So here we are still again at 39.50. Okay. So let's even go for a month range, because these range have held. So we're looking for 39.50. So right now we get to 39.50. We're still in the 50% danger zone from the range of a month. So see what holds. You know what I mean? Oh, look at this. All right, so when I see this, I'll do this. Let me go to my Twitter feed. So when I see this happening, I go to my share. I go to my Twitter feed because I trust my Twitter feed. Sinking spies to the low. What's my boy doing? With the Weisenheimers, the wise guys doing? There's some first spy bearish. Weyerhaeuser bearish. Nevada bearish. Put sweepers remain aggressive. Haven't settled down. Machines are taking it down. Spy puts. All right, here's the bottom. NCLH. No one cares. All right, this is CCJ bull flow target bullish. That's bottom fishing. VERU. So I'm looking the last 13 minutes. This is nothing that Riven. Remember I told you, first of all, when I do articulate about what's going on I also want the consistency right before I came on. All I'm saying is, and this is an half an hour ago, all I'm saying, there's a ton of Riven's calls going off. And by the way, they're still going off. Doesn't mean the stock's going higher, but there are a lot of calls going off. Okay. Same number. Coach, crude came down. Could have been someone. All right. All right, we'll go to the main screen. Futures down 903. I was acting well. Things were acting well for me too. They're still not doing badly. Well, let me tell you about some stocks. So I had you short. I had this short. I made good money in it. What am I looking at now? The bottom line. So listen, is Square not acting well? Here's on my main page. What's wrong with Square right here? All right. What do I have? The NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's down 3%. It's cratering. And Square is the high of the day, 89 to 85. Well, you know what? Still a nice pullback. MU, GFS, EMPH, GLD, no reversal. Newmont. That's coming to the 200-day, coach. I mentioned it this morning. Newmont coming to the 200-day. You want to dive? By the way, I sold it up there. But if you want to diversify your portfolio on a weekly and a daily, that might be a play. Listen, the sexier out there, and certainly I'm not going to run. But lithium holds well. Lucid hangs okay. Roblox near the high. Futures are creating, but it's Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. This is an issue. But by the way, QQQs are coming down to 972. Amazon not making new lows. D-Dogs in trouble. TTD shops only down 3. Coins only down 2. This is it. It's Etsy. Kohl's. Lennar. Another example of not Lennar. I thought was going to act well. Another one of not let didn't work right away. Lennar tried to buy a chunk of it. Was buying a chunk of Lennar. 74.20. Didn't like it. Sold it 73.90. Now it's 73.20. Now it's a lot lower. Don't want any part of it now. Didn't work. Got rid of it. Boeing. Starbucks not making new lows. AMC suspiciously good. Caesar's giving it all back. UAL support. Lewis right here, 200-day. UAL after going up 3 days, going down on no volume. Might be a good, interesting point, but you are going against the trend. Let's look at what else. U.S. movers watch list. Let's go to U.S. movers. Let's go to my other watch. U.S. movers. I am long Tesla. I'm taking my loss in Tesla. 10 points, Tim. Okay. Listen, you can always buy it back. If a stock is that, you know what? It's actually underperforming. Let me go to Tesla. It's actually underperforming the rest of the group, which, by the way, may be a macro symbol for the market, might be a little weaker underneath. I mean, Tesla's down 2%. XPEV is up. NIO, which, by the way, is the baby brother, it's only down 1%. LI is up 2%. Lucid, as I said. So Tesla's showing the relative weakness for some reason. I just think it's more macro. That's why. But noted the trade. I appreciate that. Thanks for letting us know. It's probably the, next you can move back in. Where's Tesla now? Yeah. Any re-entry point is probably around the 700 level. This other low here. Hold on. This other low. If you do try to revisit it, it's low. If I may say something else for anybody that may be interested out there. I know that a lot of people that are trading Tesla intraday. Just a note that you see that this, a Tesla call that trades for $14. It trades 16,000 calls. And these, if you ever want anybody out there, I'm not making a suggestion, you want to trade and lower your capital outlay. And listen, if you just do the math, Tesla calls at $14, trading 16,000 options is a lot of, trade one of them. So if you don't want to trade maybe 5,000 or 500 Tesla, the options are just, for intraday, just trade, exactly the strike price and in the money. And you don't have, they move. Let's look at even Tesla puts today. These are the calls. Let's look at Tesla calls today. So this is 8 hours. Let's look at the 2 days. All right. So Tesla calls went from 31 to 50 in 4 trading hours. This is yesterday at 2 o'clock. From 31, cut in half is 15. So all I'm saying is, sometimes these options are pretty active for a reason, and they're making pretty good moves. If anybody doesn't want to put the cap, at least that's what I do. But next we move on. So you know what? We'll go again. What's breaking near the high? The high of the day is the futures come into our 39. Net right now they're 39.70. So as we come to a 39.50, whether it gets there or not, you're right here. New highs on the day. Or how about this? Up high in relative volume for the day. All you need to look at is the futures are cratering. GNUS, not interested. DLO, it's on our list. TJ Maxx is on the high now. All right, I got that. Oh, okay. NUTX, that's up today too. All right, NUTX. This is on a chart yesterday for the active trader. Okay, new highs. This is how I do it. New highs is at 1126. NUTX, ARRY. That's a solar. Abbott Labs, IQ. So they're still taking some of the Chinese stocks up. Okay, not bad. Tilray, Baidu. Interesting Chinese. What's breaking down on the day? This is how I do it again. Go by time. It's 11. Valero breaking down. Home Depot making new lows. Google making lows. Not good. So right again, this is what I see. Like if I'm looking at anything and I just go to this, Google breaking down on the day, Valero breaking down, Team, D-Dog, now all best of breeds of technology. Akamai, Marriott breaking the low of the day of a range. That doesn't show me good for hotels. What's moving up now? Well, if things are going down. Nothing good. Let's moving down now in the last So NUTX gave it back. Dish, FUTU, a breakdown on the range, which is even more important, by the way. You don't want it to do that. There you go. All the ones that matter. Kohl's, Walmart, Kellogg. I told you that day, it is Coca-Cola. Sorry, Rich. Newmont Mining approaching the 200-day. So listen, they're taking that. Listen, Lowe's. These are big, big, major. But on the other way, on the other side too, these are Lowe's is huge. Kohl's is huge. Charles Schwab breaking it down on a range. Marriott, you got hotels, you got retail, you got cola, you got people who don't eat cereal anymore. You got gold, you got Procter and Gamble, Kraft Heinz. What happened to ketchup in a week? In a week, CVS Health. So you know what? This is also good. It's also good because there's volatility. And I'm going to leave it here because I got to get back to the active trading. And everybody that's listening right now will probably listen after I get off. Here's the VIX. Here's a 2-week on the VIX. All right, so here we go. I'll finish on my main screen. So now we're down to $1.12. PayPal could have been someone. ON Semiconductor. I told you. I stretched it a little bit. So am I down? Whatever. You know what I mean? Twitter, you still at the high. EMPH, Asan. I don't feel so bad. TTD, Twitter, Facebook. Let's look at this thing. All right, Facebook's under every moving average. Facebook undercuts it. You know, these are critical levels. That's all. AMD. All right, am I surprised? No, I'm not. Nevada, we said stay away. Microsoft, 257. All right, so the bottom line is, and I don't mean redundant with bottom line, it's Amazon, it's Google, it's Apple, it's Microsoft. Now, as you see, I also have green, and they're Take-Two, they're U. There's stocks that have been crushed. Roblox, Riven, FUTU, LABD. So if the market's going to bottom or bounce, it's going to be predicated upon these guys right here, the big daddies. It's not going to be because everybody says, "Oh, you is acting well after being down 80% this year. I see relative strength." No, it's you need stocks that are breaking down like Wayfair still, and stocks like give me another one. There's Boeing. Boeing's not bad. Disney, Starbucks. CPE, it could have been someone. I fumbled the ball, coach. Chevron. I fumbled the CPE trade. I'm not going to lie. But I contra traded, and that's what happens when you go against. You're so happy that when it's been up for 5 days, that you're up in a little bit, like you're all giddy. But you know what I mean? It broke below the moving averages. That was a good risk to reward. I took my eye off the ball. I didn't have much in it. I made a little bit of money. I could pay for something, but it was a loser, and that's why I got out of it. If it was a winner, I probably would have held it more. So I'm going to let everybody go. There's a lot to be done here. Next, you're right, coach. Well, you know what I mean? Who cares? But I'm going to note the trade, and I'll leave it at that, guys. Any other questions? Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. Okay, there's Tim on Tesla. All right, put his ego aside, sold the Tesla. Whatever, $6 ago. Doesn't say it's going down, but it can re-enter the trade. Where is it going to? If he wants to do some, you know what? The 700, there's the gap. 720. Listen, this is it on Tesla. The lines are just as clear as they have been the futures. Let's go to at least a month on Tesla if I'm on this chart. There's the month long on Tesla, 1 month. Let's go 15 minutes. Clear all trend lines. Tesla, the 700 number. That's their new low, 680. That gap right here, 700. I mean, it's it. I understand why. Goes above 750 again, and 750 re-enter, and I don't think you're going to be late because then it moves. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Okay. Any other questions? Cheers. Trade well. Have a plan. If you're listening now, get back into the room. So sign on and contribute. Now I'm giving instructions. I'm going to put on trades when I get off here. So we'll see you later. If not after lunch, cheers, everyone. Thank you.